everyone, welcome back. Welcome to the channel. I am the Sports Judge. What are the Cleveland Cavaliers doing firing JB Bickerstaff when during his tenure he created a culture of winning? I don't know how you can possibly move on from a guy that's built a winning culture. The culture that I felt he established within the organization had this Cavs team on the right path. They were in the playoffs. You can have all the talent, but if the culture ain't right, it gets you nowhere. Bickerstaff being let go by the Cavs on Thursday in a move that was long expected is mind-blowing to me. I first heard rumblings about his job security as far back as last season, but how? Makes absolutely no sense. I think it's unfair what they did. But like I always say, and you always hear me say this, it's a shady business. These organizations will do you dirty every time. They will screw you over every time. No job is promising. And of course, they're choosing talent over culture. I think firing someone like Bickerstaff will backfire terribly. There's no job security in coaching anymore. Hiring the right person to fit your culture no longer exists. And if you don't win, you're on the hot seat and not given much time to take a step in the right direction because these owners and GMs are so impatient that when they assemble what they believe is the perfect trio or this super team, that they expect you to move to the next level instantly, make progress, break limits, go beyond expectations, achieve the impossible, climb to greater heights, and cover new ground. But it takes time. It's not going to happen right away. I reiterate, the progress doesn't happen overnight for any team. This is a reminder that coaching is a stressful business and a very unsecure profession. It requires a whole lot of time, effort, consistency, and nurturing. Patience is key. Develop your team, celebrate small wins, and trust the process to achieve lasting success. I felt like Bickerstaff lived by his team's philosophy and did with what he had. This is a terrible move. I don't get it. I really don't. I thought JB did an amazing job. That was a complete culture makeover. Not everybody can come to a franchise and do what he accomplished. He had his players' backs even when they didn't have his. To me, this is a wrongful firing for a guy who took this Cavs team from rock bottom to a quality team. So that's what we're doing now. This is what we're doing. We're at a point when coaches are being scapegoated. I was really hoping the franchise would stick by him. Apparently not. They just fired him. They canned him. This team looked completely different after he came in. I think he had done an absolutely incredible job turning this team around. Gotta give JB a lot of credit for orchestrating the quickest, most dramatic turnaround. That was a hell of a run and coaching job by JB. I was very impressed with him. Damn good coaching. And yet, you get fired. You fired this man. Why? To keep a player around? To keep the players happy? Happy players, happy life? Is that what it's all about now? Keeping your star players satisfied? I'm dumbfounded as to why he isn't still the head coach in Cleveland when you consider the success he's had. Looking at this looks bad on the ownership. It really does. As the news began to spread, my first reaction was that of shock. It's more disappointment because JB is a fantastic coach, rights the ship after the John Beeline disaster, gets the team to the second round, takes a game off Boston before the entire roster goes on the injured list. I mean, what more did you want from this man? Half of his roster was injured. They were depleted. And any rational person with functional brain cells know this Cavs team weren't coming out of the East. I mean, come on, really? They weren't coming out of the East or winning a championship this season with Donovan Mitchell or without. The report is that the Cavs fired JB Bickerstaff in effort to keep Donovan Mitchell. They do realize that firing JB doesn't guarantee that Mitchell stays, right? It blows my mind that some think parting ways with JB is going to keep the star player in Cleveland. Laughable. Laughable to me. You see how much power these players assume nowadays? So the man is out of a job because you're trying to convince someone to stay? It's not about sacking the coach. For Donovan, it's about going somewhere he can't contend right now. It's about potentially joining a team with a stacked roster. Cleveland right now, anyway, can't offer him that. You know, no way he's re-signing with Cleveland. I just don't see it at this point. He's not staying there. He's leaving when the time comes. JB was a keeper, but his relationship with the star player was something that concerned the Cavs, obviously, and it was absolutely a factor in the decision to fire him. They're protecting their star player. And I think the next person that they hire will be a guy that Donovan Mitchell likes a lot. But is that going to keep him around? I'm not sure it does. If Donovan instead waits to re-sign until he becomes a free agent in 2025, he'll be eligible to sign a 5-year contract worth up to almost $269.9 million with Cleveland and a 4-year $200.1 million deal with any other team. But his body language said it all to me. It was obvious to me that Donovan Mitchell doesn't want to be in Cleveland. During the playoffs, he wasn't playing like he wants to be in Cleveland. And yet you made a move to keep him happy when in reality, I don't think he's really all that content. He's just putting on a facade, making the best of the situation while he's there since he's under contract. But once he's able to go, he's out of there. So now you just fired a coach. Now you got to replace the coach that you fired. And you did this to pacify your star player who years from now might not even be there anymore. Crazy to me. Really, a really bad move. Terrible move by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. As always, you guys are great. We'll talk very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Peace, everyone.